And welcome into In-Game Chat for Saturday, October the 5th, 2024. Season 18, episode 34. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ's substitute.
That's Matt, everybody.
I'm Matt.
Yeah, RJ will be in as soon as he can, stuck in traffic at the moment. He's fine, but there happens... there happens to be... so we talked, just for local folks here, Eastern Boulevard... Eastern Bypass. Oh, wait, RJ's here in the parking lot.
I'll go grab him.
Yeah, feel free. Just to let people know, and apparently it's still... Well, you know what? I'll wait for RJ to come in.
Yeah.
He can tell us all about it. In the meantime, if you see me doing what I'm doing right now, I got some pain in my shoulder, arm, back thing. Been bugging me. So... old. You know what? I'm not even chalking this up to old. I think I just slept wrong on it or something because it's just been bothering me. So, you do this while they're out of the room. And get that out of the way. And that's taken care of. If you want to get in touch with us, if you want to be on the show, then we've got our Discord line. Sorry. I'm going to be doing that a lot. We got Discord up. You can do that. We're on. You can go to ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can find us on Facebook at InGameChat as well. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We're streaming the cam feed right now through twitch.tv. You can find us there and join in the chat room live while we broadcast as well. So all of that is available to you, and we're going to let RJ get set up here.
Did I miss anything?
And no, just doing my usual intro stuff. That's all.
Got the clacker?
I already did it.
All right, cool.
While you were out, already took care of that. So that's all done. So we're good to go. Just going to let RJ get set up and get going. Hi to Dave, who's listening.
Hey, Dave.
Up in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
You know Dave.
I know Dave. Yes.
That Dave. So yeah.
Colorado, the state I was born.
Yeah, he's I think he's either going into work maybe right now. I'm not sure, but he's listening.
Oh, sorry if he is.
So, yeah.
Or maybe he'll, work.
Yeah. There we go. There's RJ. And there we go. You are...
Apologies.
There you
Hey,
are.
RJ, how's it going, buddy?
I'm good. Apologies for the...
Yeah, I was about to explain what was going on, but you might as well since you got stuck in it. This is the Eastern Boulevard we're talking about.
Yeah, Eastern Boulevard. There was a tanker truck that turned over. In front of the Sam's Club entrance. So Monticello and a significant portion of Eastern Boulevard was blocked off by the police. So I had to find an alternate route to get to the station. Yeah.
That is going to be the Eastern Boulevard as though you're... I'm not sure what the direction would be.
My guess would be...
Coming towards Vaughn.
Yeah, coming towards Vaughn.
Coming towards Vaughn, yeah. Because the other side, going away from Vaughn, that one's running fine. Mm-hmm. But... the other side up from, I don't know where they block it off.
I guess that'd be eastern side.
Yeah, I don't know where they start the block off from it, but it goes all the way up to the on-ramp there at 85. Yeah. At 85.
Was it a single, or did a car hit it, or?
No, I think it just turned. It was just turned over on the side. I don't know how. Maybe he took it too hard, or maybe tried to swerve to get around someone who might have hit him. So
all right.
Who knows? But bottom line is a tanker truck was on the side and the police were in full force to direct traffic away from there.
I hope no one got hurt.
Yeah, I don't think anybody got hurt, but it's just a mess. And it's going to be continually blocked for the rest of the day, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's not going to get any better. All right, so welcome into the show. RJ is here with us. Matt is here with us. Let's talk about what we've played. And I mean, we'll start with Matt. I know you streamed some this week.
So, yeah, watching you stream some of the stuff that you've been doing, getting back into it, man, I got to admit, it made me jealous.
Yeah, I've been streaming on Sundays.
I felt that itch. I was like, oh, that looks like fun. So I watched some of your videos and everything. And I'm like, man, he's having a good time. This is good. Yeah. I miss doing that. So,
I know. I missed it too. I mean, we do this every Saturday, but actually stream gaming, I haven't done in a while.
It's fun. So I felt that itch, and so I texted you up. I'm like, hey, you know what? Hey, would you mind if I got back into this?
I know we had to get everything set back up for you because it's been a while.
It's been years since I've done this. And I'm like, you know what? Let me, do Sniper Elite. So Sniper Elite 5, I did the whole first mission from that, and just started. I've played through that game all. I did the expansions for it.
This is 5, right?
Yeah, 5.
Yeah. See, I don't think I've played 5.
All right, yeah.
I have it, but I don't think I played it.
3 was Africa. 3 was Africa. 4 was Italy. 5 is in France.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to the new one coming out, Resistance.
Another new Sniper Elite.
But so I played the first level. I already have like some of the, I have my loadout and stuff already like unlocked. So it's just me replaying it. But it was fun just going through and just talking about what I'm doing and playing through, and like I had such a good time doing that. With one person, watching me, you. But whatever, it's there, it's up. I'm assuming you'll put it up on the YouTubes or whatever, and people could watch that later. Just have a good time, and it made me think about like maybe doing some more stuff.
Yeah, definitely do it.
Like I told you, I picked up Goat Simulator 3 on sale with the expansion. I played a little bit of that and just had so much fun with that game. It's just nothing but chaos and
I've
fun.
never gotten into them.
Have you tried them?
I've seen them played. I've never actually tried to play them.
They're just chaos. They're just like open world, just chaos generated.
Yeah, like I get what they're going for, but for whatever reason, that's never drawn me in.
All right. But yeah, I'm thinking about maybe giving that a run, and just, playing around with that and just, running around as a goat and just cause as much damage as I can.
Goat for it.
You tried the Goose. I think there's one Goose Simulator as well, isn't it?
It was a
Untitled Goose game?
Yeah, I have it. I played a little bit of it, and it's fun. You just like run around honking at people, and
you got that on PC too, I would
yes, I do have it on PC. See, on that, I played through obviously Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. It was a fun game. Ran through all of that. One of the things I really enjoyed about that was the Sabacc game, the mini game playing.
Oh, okay.
Like for Red Dead, where you could go and you could play poker.
Right, and Gwent in Witcher 3.
All right, I'll play a little bit of it just to get, I guess, an unlock, but that's kind of it. This one, I was just having a good time. I'd just sit down and just start playing Sabacc and just playing it. And, instead of running around the galaxy, I'm like, all right, let me just do some card games. So...
perfectly fine to do. I mean, stream anything you want. What it was the biggest audience I had Sunday for streaming was when I popped on Burnout.
I can see why.
For whatever reason, I had more people pop in on that one than I did for Snap or Tiny Glade or any of Frostpunk or any of that. It was Burnout 3. People popped in and was like, oh, wow. It's just been a minute. And you got to play some of it. I brought my deck in and you got to play some of it.
It's been, 20 years or so?
Yeah, I think it released in 2003 or 2004.
Okay.
I want to say it was 3.
So...
which game?
Burnout 3.
Man, I haven't played a PS3 game and I don't even remember how long.
04? Yeah, so it's 20 years old. Game. Yeah, well, that's a PS3. That's a PS2 game.
Well, it was PS2?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was on PS3.
Burnout 3 was a PS2 Xbox game.
Yeah, 360, PS2. Yeah.
Did they port it to 3? The PS3?
Maybe. Or it was backwards compatible.
Maybe that. Okay.
But they also released Burnout Legends.
That does not look like a PS2 game.
They either released Burnout Legends or Burnout.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Burnout Dominator. But I think that was a handheld. The Burnout 3 Takedown was released on original Xbox and PS2. Because it was one of the games that was originally announced for Xbox Live.
Yeah. MechWarrior or Mech Assault was another one, right?
Then they released Burnout Revenge on, I want to say it was also the Xbox, but it also got a release on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Okay.
I think. Because it was right around the time the generations were changing there.
Yeah.
And backwards compatibility wasn't really a thing for the 360 at the time. I think PS3 was talked about for the 360, though. I don't believe they had any backwards compatibility for it. They may have. I don't think they did. So, yeah. And as we know, Nintendo doesn't have backwards compatibility. They've never really looked into that. The Wii and the Wii U, yes. But the GameCube to the Wii, no.
Or the Switch.
Or the Switch, yeah.
You could buy their port of it.
Right, yeah. Or their remaster, whatever it is that they do.
Yeah.
Although, in the news, playing old Nintendo games is getting harder and harder.
Yeah?
Oh, Nintendo's shutting down a bunch of emulators. They're actually, and so not only that, and we've got this story that we'll talk about, but they're also going after YouTube channels that
are having
show games being played on emulators. Nintendo properties that are being played on emulators. They're also going after those YouTube channels. Yeah. No,
sounds like a significant number of channels.
Well, I don't know. I haven't read the article yet. Yeah. We'll get into it after we talk about what else we've been playing. But I mean, you've been doing Sniper Elite. Yeah. What else? Anything? I mean, it's been a while, so just give us the rundown if there was anything that stood out.
I picked up the Castlevania Symphony of the Night collection on the PS4.
Okay.
Because I've been wanting. I got the soundtrack from Mondo on vinyl for that, and I was listening to that. And I'm like, I forgot how good that music is. And so I, wanted to play that again. So I played a little bit of Symphony of the Night. I'm not really doing. I'm trying to remember, trying to think of some of the PC stuff. So I backed on Kickstarter, Revolution's Broken Sword remake.
Okay.
The remake version of the first Broken Sword game, or on the consoles, the PlayStation 1, it was called Circle of Blood.
Yeah. Is this a PC release or no?
Oh, so PC, actually platforms too.
Oh, okay. So it's an actual. It's a self-publishing,
self everything. They got their. I backed it a good while back.
Yeah.
It just released September, I think 29th or so. Not that long ago, last month, and it's in that tradition of some of those other adventure games like the Monkey Island 1, 2, and some of the ones where you can click the button, you go back to the original graphics.
Okay.
And you click the thumbstick and
switch between.
Yeah. It's in 4K now, which is great. They redid all the backgrounds and everything. So whenever I get to a new scene, like when George walks into I'll go back to the original and then click on it and then click on the and see the differences in the two. And
how often that gimmick which you played in Monkey Island?
Yeah.
How long does that gimmick last for you before you just leave it how you like it?
The entire game.
Really?
I go through the entire game looking
flipping back and forth.
And forth. Every time a new scene comes out, and I'll see the original. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And then I click it and see it in its new.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because
I want to see the difference because
that was the way those games worked. Just here's a thing. You move your character across the screen or whatever. Yeah. Go into a building. Here's a scene.
Here's a new scene.
Right, and then you come back out. There's not really.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of moving images type stuff.
The camera will pan.
Yeah.
If it's a wide enough, if they draw a wide enough background and stuff. So you'll start on one side of the screen and it'll pan with your character over this side. But every single time, every single screen, I'm swapping back and forth just to look at the differences. And just man, it is pretty. It is. They redrawn everything and seeing some of the differences in the redraw. It's not like they just slapped new paint, just retracing everything. This bush will be bigger and over here, sort of in the same spot, or this bridge will be slightly different, but it looks so much. It looks.
You said this was Kickstarter and they've already released it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I bought because it's one Broken Sword, the series is one of my favorites. I kickstarted the Broken Sword 5 when that came out a decade ago. Wow, it's been a decade.
I know.
That's the hard part for me to believe. I mean, but when that came out, I kickstarted that, so that way that could get made, and I got that, and I loved that game. 3 and 4 are my least favorites. That's when they went away from the kind of the 2D and they went in like the 3D. I don't know if you ever played the Gabriel Knight series.
I didn't.
Or if you've seen those.
I know what you're talking about.
In Gabriel Knight 3, they went into 3D and polygons because that's just how it was. And yeah.
I believe, honestly, I think I have James's old discs for Gabriel Knight.
Okay. The first?
I'd have to do some digging because I'm not sure where they're at.
Because I have all 3 of them on disc.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't know because it is a... Remember those CD sleeves that were just basically paper envelopes with a whatever in them? So yeah, it's just that slid in there and then pin on the other side. It's like Gabriel Knight. I think it's 3.
If it was more than 1 disc, like because 2 was FMV and that was like I think 4 discs or 5 discs. I forget how many discs it was. But since it was one of those back when Sierra was doing the FMV games like Phantasmagoria and stuff like that,
yeah.
Those took up a lot of discs.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
The first was obviously just on 1.
Maybe it was that one because I've only got 1 disc. But then again, I don't know.
And
I have to go see.
The third one was on multiple discs, I believe, as well. But anyways, Broken Sword remaster. It is, they use the same voices, which is great. So they didn't really have to do much with that. But like, it's done in 4K. It's done for HD TVs. It looks gorgeous, and it was as far as story wise, it was just one of my favorites. I love the story. That's what I loved about adventure games. Is like I like being told a story. I love storytelling.
Oh yeah, storytelling is great.
This one is just you play as George Stobart, just American, patent lawyer in Paris, just chilling when an explosion happens at the cafe you're in, and it just sets you off on this adventure. That goes into like the Knights Templar and stuff like that, and just. I absolutely just love it. And so I'm so glad that I kickstarted that. I got the digital copy, but I'll be getting like the physical and also the soundtrack on vinyl.
Okay.
Because I love my vinyl collection.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot of that.
Well, no, that's good. What
so,
any other games that you've played? I mean, I know you probably have.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I have.
Yeah.
But just off the top of my head, those are the ones, like I kicked up a little bit of a Red Dead 2 again, just because I never beat that game.
I didn't either.
And I had that problem for the most part with open world games. Especially had it like with the Skyrim series, with even before Skyrim, Oblivion. Did you play Oblivion?
No, never got out of the dungeon.
I got out of the dungeon after Patrick Stewart talked to me, and I'm like, you open the door, and there's, Tamriel, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is pretty. It wants me to go over this way. I'm going to go that direction instead. And I didn't.
It's outside.
Oh, okay. I was making sure it wasn't my phone.
No, it's outside.
But, I never did. I just decided to, I'm like, you know what? You give me the choice to create my own adventure, I'm going to do that. And I spent that entire game just running around everywhere, just hunting and doing all these things. I didn't even touch the main storyline of the game.
Yeah.
So I don't even know, something about some kind of gates. I don't know. Didn't bother with it. So I had that problem with same with Red Dead. I'll do a couple missions here and there, but I'm just crawling through the woods.
That game was so hyped up, Oblivion, that I was.
It was for its time. It was gorgeous.
Right. I was. I was like, okay, this is the big hype for this thing. Let me. Let me see what it's all about and play it, and I probably rented it, knowing me. It's very likely that I rented it or whatever, but
yeah,
it's
back when you could.
Yeah, back when you could do that. I played a little bit of it, tried to get out of the dungeon. I wasn't enjoying what I was playing. It was kind of an introduction to these RPGs that I really hadn't tried before in something like this, and I just said, nope. AC
Wraith was talking about he loves Gabriel Knight. The 20th anniversary of the original Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Father. Fantastic game. I like it when they take those classic things that I loved back in the day, and they sort of like spruce them up and make them look a little better. Make them where you could play it. That's the big thing. Some of those old games I loved, on modern systems, it's hard to get them running.
Well, it's one of the things we talked about this when I was talking about Burnout and stuff, and I was talking about game preservation, basically. And how there's no way for you to play Burnout 3, just as an example.
Yeah, game preservation, the older I get, the more I appreciate it.
Yeah. There's no way to play that game unless you own a PS2 and a copy of the game, and then have everything connected like you should, or an Xbox. I think it's backwards compatible on the 360. So there's ways to do it, but just not enough to my liking, and so that's why I'm playing it like I'm playing it now. But the community came forth and did a lot for that to run on the PlayStation 2 emulator, and that got me thinking.
But it looks better than I remember it.
Well, that's nothing compared to what it is on my screen at the house. Compared to what it is on my 1440 monitor, no, it's wonderful.
I bet.
But the game preservation like stuff where I can go back and play Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain, the first one, and a couple of the other like old classics.
I'd love to play Tenchu, like the original Tenchu again.
Yeah,
like just.
I remember that.
Real quick on game preservation. Before I got here on Steam, I saw Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, the Bloober remake. Yeah,
$70.
It is, but
that's
apparently
the problem I have with it.
It is, but apparently it's getting very good reviews.
I'm sure, and it's a great game, but $70.
I know.
I don't think the Resident Evil remakes were that expensive when they came out. And they were like a brand new. Like it's not. I
want to say $30 to $40 on those.
Yeah, so it's not like it's just like we redid the graph. They rewrote the entire game using the RE7 engine, and it looks fantastic. But it's not $70. That's why I'm like, oh man, really, dudes? Come on, Konami, do better.
Is it also? I guess it is 70 on console too.
Yeah.
But I've heard really good things about it.
One of my favorite Silent Hills.
Yeah. RJ, what about you? What have you played?
More the standard fare with MLB The Show and Virtua Fighter. I actually finally leveled up my my level on the game. I actually got from level 28 to 29, but I need to fight more people who are in level 30 and 40 and get my level up some more. So doing that a lot. Grand Theft Auto Online, for the most part, is what I've been playing. They got some Halloween thing going on. They're giving you
nice
special outfits, costumes, things of that nature. They gave us a goat mask.
Nice.
Some dark black goat mask, but you have to play Arena War to get the red one. And since Arena War is what I think is the most worst DLC they gave in that game, I don't think not a lot of people are going to get that thing unless they got the DLC for.
Or they're going to put in the effort to try to.
Yeah, I guess, but no. See, the thing
GTA
about
GTA Online still filled with griefers and hackers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, anything online is probably filled with that, but
yeah, but
it just didn't play very well for me. But I know it's been fixed since that first time I tried to log in.
It just frustrated me. I'm trying to play a game and just.
I mean, there are ways around it. I mean, you can sell in a solo lobby, things of that nature, stuff. But the motivation for you to sell product or do things in a populated lobby is it gives you a bonus. The more people in there, the more extra percentage you get for selling product or doing all the activities in there. Some are irrelevant. Doesn't matter if you have people in there or not. So those activities, you can just go in a solo lobby and be fine. But there are times when I have to go into a populated lobby, and there are ways to avoid griefers, but it's not always
because for me,
effective.
For GTA 5, some of the vehicles that were only in online, I wanted to play in the single player. Mm-hmm. Like I wanted the Oppressor, I wanted the Batmobile, I wanted the Vigilante. I wanted that. I wanted my character in the single player to have those. Some of those vehicles.
Yeah.
Because those vehicles look like a lot of fun.
They are.
But I don't want to play online, to do that. I want to run through the single player story with those online vehicles.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that, so I just never did.
Yeah.
Well, never tried to do that later, so maybe something was fixed later on, patched or whatever. But yeah, Oppressors, I think what they did was they jacked up the price of them to like, I think, $8 million to get a Mark II, because as soon as you see those things in the air, you're going to be, I'm expecting to be griefed, because you can just fly around that thing shooting missiles at people and blowing up their product and just having a grand old time. I mean, you get bonuses for that, but in my case, if I see an oppressor in the air and I'm trying to sell something, I'm like, nope, reset, close the application, go back. I'm not even gonna bother dealing with that.
No point in trying.
I'm not gonna lose. I'm not gonna lose much anyway,
right.
And I can build it up in a short time. So I just deal with it that way. Like I said, there's many ways to deal with the griefers online. Yeah. So it's not going to be something to make you stop playing the game.
Yeah, I know there's that too, but that's not going to stop RJ either.
Nope.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it this week. Yeah.
Yeah, for me it was. It's what I streamed. More Snap. Burnout Revenge on the Xbox Series X because of the backwards compatibility for it. And Burnout 3 Takedown on the PC. What else? A little bit of Tiny Glade, and what was... I didn't play any Frostpunk 2.
How is that?
Frostpunk 2 I really liked.
Okay.
It honestly clicked for me when I was streaming it, not last weekend, but the weekend prior.
I'll check it out.
I streamed it, and it, as I was playing, that's when it clicked in or kicked in the civilization. What's the term? Not a bug. Civilization itch, maybe? I'm not sure. It's the one where you feel like, well, I'll just do this one more thing.
Okay.
Like, because you can set something up and it takes time to build. You know what I'm saying? So you start that and I'm like, okay, when that gets finished building, then we're good. And then it'll get finished building and you'll have something else that you can click on and say, okay, I'll do that one then. Yeah. And when that's done, then I'll be done. And then when it's done, you get a prompt to do something else. And well, I'll do that real quick. So it's always
4 hours later.
Yeah. It's always a one more turn type of thing that it turned into for me with Frostpunk 2. And that's when that loop really hit for me, and I was enjoying it.
If the building was instant, you probably would have stopped sooner, but because you have time to find other things to get into while that thing's building.
Exactly.
That's
the issue is that while it's building, I'm doing other things. And then when it's done, it's like, yeah, but I already started these things.
Yep.
When that's done, I might as well take care of this.
That's how they get you.
Yeah. And so it really is, it was really, really enjoyable. And I am not far into it as well. I also today I had been playing Burnout Revenge on my Xbox Series X, and I'm practically going through that thing all over again from start to finish because that's another game that came out, I think, in 2005.
Okay.
Which, again, we're looking at almost a 20-year-old game that I haven't played in forever. I know.
You say that.
I know.
My AARP starts to kick in.
Yeah, it. 2005?
05, yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that I'm playing that, and I'm playing Burnout 3 Takedown on PC, I would jump back over to Burnout Paradise Remastered on the Xbox Series X, and I play a little bit of it. And what I realized this morning was like, don't I own Burnout Paradise on PC? And I checked, and I did. Oh God, what was it called? The Ultimate Box, I think is what it was called.
There was Ultimate Box. I own 2 different versions of it on Steam.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
The Ultimate Box and what else?
And was it Remake?
You might know the Remaster, yes. And it's likely you do.
I own them because I know when I look at my Steam library, it shows 2 different...
then you own Burnout Paradise Remastered and the Ultimate Box. The Ultimate Box was the only way to get Burnout Paradise on PC.
Okay.
Because that's the only way they released it was the Ultimate Box on there.
Oh, that is
that is you on that one.
No, stop.
That's actually you.
So I got on my Steam and it did a preview. A trailer. That's what I did. Anyways, didn't one of them have like the DLC cards, like the DeLorean and
the Ultimate Box had it, but so does Remastered.
Okay,
Remastered has everything.
I think one of them had something that the other didn't.
Yeah, Remastered has... the Ultimate Box lacked the Big Surf Island.
Was that it? Okay.
The PC version of Ultimate Box lacked Big Surf Island for whatever reason, because they hadn't finished it when it was released. But Paradise Remastered actually has everything.
So it looks like you cannot buy Ultimate Box
You
right now.
can't. It's not available for you to buy.
Why is it? No, stop. Turn off the... Yes, I know. Legendary... Ooh, it's mixed reviews.
For...
Remastered. Burnout Paradise Remastered.
Yeah. I don't know why, but there's mixed reviews.
Probably because stuff missing.
Yeah, maybe.
There's nothing missing.
That includes Big Surf Island.
Remastered does, yes.
Remastered. So.
Ultimate Box did not.
So which one did you load up?
Remastered.
Okay, so that's one you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one I loaded up and played today. Because I had not played it on PC... what looks like ever at all. I kind of just bought it. And I realized, I got a really good rig compared to when this game released.
Yeah.
So let me fire it up, put all my settings up to, max, and let's play through it. And so I played a little bit, a tiny little bit this morning, but man, I enjoyed every moment of it. Something I realized in playing that, we've got to take a break whenever we get done here.
Yes.
what I have noticed, and sort of what I kind of miss, is that in Revenge and in Takedown, Burnout 3, Burnout 4 essentially, the takedowns of taking down another car, whether it be in Road Rage or whether it be in just a race or anything like that, was a lot harder to do. I would sit there and smash into these cars,
rubbing up against them,
and they would not budge. But I noticed in Paradise, just a tiny tap of
they're flying.
Another car, and boom, just knocks them right out of the road and into another car, into tree,
Into
whatever.
chaos.
Yeah, the takedowns were way easier to do in Paradise.
So do you like that better?
It's
Or
no,
different?
no. Actually, I don't.
Too easy.
The weight of everything, and by that I mean the pros and cons of everything. I want Burnout 3 and Burnout. I want Burnout 3 and Burnout Revenge. Excuse me, to have the graphical upgrades that Paradise does.
Yeah.
The mechanics that Paradise does, or in other words, not the mechanics that Paradise does, but the wreck detail, the wreck animations and everything.
Yeah.
What I noticed is that in Takedown and Revenge, the cars feel floaty.
Okay.
Like light, They don't feel as weighted down to the ground.
They more drifty?
I think so. And the way that they fly off. And I mean, Revenge, with that traffic check thing that they did where you can just run into the back of other cars and send them flying. A lot of that is kind of expressed to you that these cars, doesn't feel like these cars have any weight to them. Crash mode's a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
But when I play on Paradise, the weight is there. The weight of the vehicle is there.
But they're easier to...
You feel it.
Crash.
And they're easier to crash in there. The animations of them flipping and wrecking, it all sounds and looks and feels more visceral.
Yeah.
And more just crunch and whereas in Takedown and Revenge, it's like a smash, 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 like that. Not so in Paradise. So there's parts of it that I want, but nothing. I don't want any of. I don't want any of the layout of Paradise. In other words, give me isolated tracks. Mm-hmm. Do not give me open world. Do not let me drive around when I just don't want to do it. Now that's something
trying to find the race.
Yeah, now that's something that's fun to do when you've got a group of people in playing online together. You guys, we were talking about that, where it's just you and your friends in the city running around doing everything that you want to do. You can say, "Hey, I'm at the quarry where the jumps are. Come over here and do this with us."
There was some Midtown Madness fun to be had with that kind of level design.
Yeah, exactly. But it did not translate in the actual game itself in the single player, and crash mode was.
There's a crash mode?
In Paradise, there's Showtime is what they call it.
Yeah, it's just not the same.
And it ain't great. Not compared to what we got in 3 and what we got in Revenge. And I loved it. So anyway, we got to take a break because we are way behind. It is October, so it's the spooky season. Spoopy time. This is music from Poppy Playtime, Chapter 3. It's called Hour of Joy. That doesn't sound spooky. Not spooky, but apparently the game is quite spooky. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. This is from a game that you can't... I don't know where you can play this game at. It's eventually coming to Steam, but apparently it exists somewhere that you can play. It's called Daymare Town. And this is the outro music for Daymare Town 3.
Okay. So is it... What was it on originally?
That I'm not sure of. I haven't really looked into this. Okay. There's a demo for Daymare Town on Steam.
All right.
And I loved it. I absolutely... Did you ever play any of the Rusty Lake games?
No, but I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about the rest.
It's very point and clicky.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very point and clicky for puzzling.
Yeah.
And man, Daymare Town was just great. The demo for it. They have not. I don't know when it's getting released, but I loved it.
Is it gonna be is it gonna be the first or is it gonna be the third?
I'm not exactly sure on that. I don't know if it's a mix of all of it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think it's just a single developer on it too.
Sometimes these single developer games are some of the best.
Are you looking that up?
Yeah, I'm looking up wikis and things like that. I mean, the thing started in July of 2007. Daymare Town, the series.
Okay.
A series of point-and-click adventure games created by
Matus
Switnik. The first installment was released in July of 2007. Yeah.
Huh.
But for what?
For what indeed?
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm trying to see where.
I wonder if it was an app, like a mobile.
It was just an online thing or something.
Thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, no. 2007. That's early.
No,
it wouldn't have been that. Well, maybe it was one of those Newground Flash games.
Yeah.
But like Alien Hominid, something like that.
Maybe.
Like back in the day.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
R.I.P. Flash.
Yeah. It was a Flash game. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Go on.
I loved it though. I absolutely loved Daymare Town, the demo.
That gets back into video game
preservation.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
which is probably why remakes are so popular. They're making you think about stuff, but
that and
it's when folks take too many liberties with it. That's when the problems start. When you have the no respect for the source material, that type of thing going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they would do with a Burnout thing. I'm not really. There is no high horse that I would be sitting on to look at a remake of Burnout and saying, you did it wrong. I would love it. Yeah. Just like I am in love with the Soul Reaver remakes that they're working on, the remasters of Soul Reaver 1 and 2.
That.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they would redo Legacy of Kain, the original.
I kind of want them to do, like we were talking about that last week. I said that you can do all of them. You can leave, if you want to do Blood Omen 2, go ahead. It's fine. It wasn't a bad game.
No.
It was a nice sequel into, or prequel really, but a sequel.
Yeah.
The timeline's really weird.
Yeah.
But to get to know more about Kain, and to sort of set him in place for what would then take place in Soul Reaver, and then Soul Reaver 2, and then Defiance.
Yeah.
I would love them to redo those.
So, just because the older I got, the more my memory and timelines of reality are just fading into just...
I know, it's weird.
Nothingness. Was it this past week, or was it the week before, where they announced the new Ghost of Tsushima sequel?
That was a week before.
The week before.
Yeah, because we talked about it on last week's show.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what we could, there wasn't much.
Yeah, no, I'm just glad that there is.
There is, yeah. And I don't believe the date of it coming out next year. I think it's there, and I think they think it will be, but I honestly feel like at some point it's going to get delayed. Yeah. It's going to get pushed back, probably not next year, but the year after next.
I'm expecting that with GTA 6.
I don't know.
If they do put it out in next year, I'll be happy and I'll definitely get it. I probably will not be getting it on the PC because I don't want my PC to erupt into fire.
Yeah.
I don't think it can handle it. I need to upgrade that thing. But I'll definitely get it on the PS5.
You've got a PS5?
Yes.
Okay. Because my next question was PS5 Pro?
No. Wait. Is the Pro the brand new one?
Yeah.
No.
That comes out in November.
No, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it comes out in November, I don't have it.
Well, I just didn't know if you were looking into getting that or maybe contemplating that.
I already got a PS5.
Right, I know. And that's, for the most part, that seems to be fine.
I
for
got
a
the
lot
bundle with the Spider-Man 2.
Right. Yeah. For the most part, that seems to be fine for everybody.
Yeah.
Is that if you already own a PS5, you're probably fine.
From what little I've heard about it, yeah, it's one of those things like if you don't got one, that would be the one to get 100%. But if you do have one, yeah.
Well, I would say if you don't have one, the one to get is the one you can afford.
True.
Because if you're looking at getting the Pro, you're spending $700.
Yeah, that's the situation, man. I don't have a PS5, but I'm looking at the PS5 Pro and not seeing the real difference other than that price point. I mean, I can be fine with I've played on a PS5. I mean, other folks have brought, the convention strips, things like that.
Yeah.
Played on a PS5 and seems to be operating fine as is. I mean, there's no real need to get a $700 PS5 Pro if the PS5 original is doing just fine.
Yeah. And I think you'll see
the price of the PS, and with that thing coming out, maybe the price of the
5
will drop a bit.
Yeah,
so.
Hopefully.
That's what I'm thinking as well, which is
I actually
fine.
have the disc version.
Yeah.
Which okay.
Yeah.
No disc drive on the
no disc drive. So
even less of a reason for me to get the thing. I don't like not having a disc. I know we talked about it before, but I'd rather have a disc version.
So I was one of the shows I was listening to. One of the guys, he's actually my age. He's a few months older than me. He was giving advice to younger kids, and he said for the younger generation, get back into physical media. Because we're the age when digital media came out, we were excited. Oh my gosh, I don't have to lug around my CDs and my DVDs, and I can have it. But the problem that we're realizing now is just because you think you own something, if they turn off the servers, if they turn off the game, you don't.
Yeah, California passed a law that said, or I say passed a law, but there was a court ruling in California that basically made it clear that you own a license to these. You don't actually own them.
So... Yeah. They've been, some games that you might think that you own, if you can't download them anymore, then, what's the point?
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe getting back into physical media is not a bad thing.
Yeah, the thing about digital media, you said everybody was getting excited. I guess I was
not RJ
in the minority on that because it was like you said, the not having access to it at any given time.
Yeah.
That's what always bugged me about digital media. If something happens, something goes wrong, if something
especially
takes
now with
away,
games are always online. If they're always online, your internet goes out, then what are you going to do?
You must be online to play this game. So
there's no online component to the game, but you have to be online to play it. Old man yelling at clouds over here.
I know.
But that one thing I am looking possibly into is the PlayStation VR 2. Because they're coming out with a thing for you can use it on the PC.
They are. I know. They're going to
integrate
it for PC.
All right. Let's look at, I want to start, because I need to update. I have the old Oculus Rift S. Old thing that is.
Didn't you pick up I thought you picked up a Quest.
I have a Quest 2.
Okay. Yeah.
But, if I can get something that's, a better resolution and easier to, fuddle with than, trying to, because sometimes those things just, on my computer is just a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
If I could, something with a higher resolution for my old aging eyes, I don't know. I might look into a little PSVR 2.
I haven't done VR in a while. I haven't put the Quest headset on in a while. I see the Quest 3 though. I'm curious about that. And then we have news about the Quest 3S. I think a cheaper version of the Quest 3 that's not too off difference wise as far as the way it looks. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. Eventually I'll get back into VR. I can imagine I will, but so far
same.
It's there, and they keep doing stuff with it, and I really should jump in there because I do have games and I do have plenty of stuff to play. Oh my God, is there ever?
I absolutely love.
I'll tell you probably what it is. And again, we're getting close to where we got a break, so we went long the first time.
We did. Sorry.
Again, what I think it is, where we talked about where you got on there and streamed and said, man, I missed this.
Yes.
I'm going to slap on that Quest 2 headset one day just to be like, let's see what we got here. And I am going to, I missed this, and I'm going to jump right back into it.
So, do you have a VR on your PC? That's workable.
I mean, it can be, because I have an HTC Vive and I have the Oculus, the old OG Oculus.
Yeah.
The original Oculus or whatever it is. I have that. And I also have my Quest, which works on PC.
You can plug it in through the...
And I can stream it.
Yes.
I'd rather plug it in and play wired, but I can stream it as well to my headset there. Probably even better with the Quest 3, but yeah.
Did you ever pick up Half-Life Alyx?
Nope, not yet.
That 100%, you will just be amazed. That is like the tech demo
for a PC VR. No. VR. I absolutely believe you. My only problem is every time I see it on sale, I think about it and I'm like, I haven't put on VR in a while, so there's no point in spending the 20 some odd bucks for it right now.
It's worth it.
Then to do it. So
there's another one that's coming out. What was it? I think it's a Metro game.
Yes, there is a Metro VR. It was shown off at the PlayStation thing.
So that one, I do like the Metro series a lot.
I don't know if I do first-person shooters in VR.
Because that's what Alyx is.
I know. I haven't tried it yet. But I know. I know the way it works.
I know it's good.
I'm not knocking it. I'll play it regardless, just because of everything I've heard about it. I absolutely will eventually
little fun
play
things like Demio.
Yeah, I have that. I have that on my Quest my Quest 2. Yes, I haven't played it, but I have it.
It's tough by yourself. That's definitely one of those you need help in that game.
God, I have so much. I have the putt-putt golf thing. I have
the mini golf. That's a lot of fun.
I have Myst, the Room. I have.
I have those on the PC, and they are VR capable.
Pistol Whip, some drum game where you play drums. I do have
Arizona Sunshine.
I don't have that, but I do have the one with the music.
Beat Saber?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one.
And for the Quest, the two Star Wars games, I really
the Vader one?
Those.
Yeah.
The Vader Immortal I thought was fantastic. And also the one Tales from the Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I have not played either of those.
The thing, real quick, because I know the break. The thing I loved about Tales from the Galaxy's Edge is, me, I'm a huge Disney fan. I love Disney. I like going to Disney as much as possible. When I play that game, you're up in because it takes place in on Batuu in the Black Spire, which is the Disney World land, whatever the Star Wars, the Galaxy's Edge place. I'm looking out the window of one of the bars, the main bar that you're in, and I looked out the window and I knew exactly where I was in Disney World when so much so that
because you went there to
the next time I was at Disney World, I looked up. I'm like, hey, there's actually a building there, and there's a window there. That's where I was because I looked out. I'm like, oh, that's where the Falcon would be. So that means Oga's Cantina's over here. That means that Savi's workshop's right over here. And so I knew from that area just by looking out that window where I was, where I physically walked
where
around.
you actually had been. Yeah.
And to me, you can't go to there in the game. You can't actually go down into the city like you can in Disney World, but to know that I physically have been in there and I've seen the Falcon there and I've gone in the cantina, I've gone into I'm like, I don't know, for me I was like, I like that, I appreciate that.
So have you played Flight Simulator?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the same feeling.
Yes. I've flown over my house.
I know, right?
There's my house.
Exactly. It's the same feeling when you get to a place that's familiar to you.
Taken off from Danley Field, flown down, Selma Highway. I've gone down 65, bypassed. I've actually following how I go home from work and everything. And then I'm like, oh, look, hey, there's my house.
Yep. I know.
Cool.
Exactly.
Let me take this off because it's taking up most of my hard drive.
Yeah, no kidding. I played it on the Series X. We got to take a break. When we come back, we will maybe jump into some news, or we'll just sit here and talk some more.
I'm having a good time.
Either way, we're going to enjoy it, and we hope you are too. Music here from a game called Mortuary Assistant.
I've looked into that.
It's a little freaky. This is called Endless Halls. We'll be back with more of in-game chat right after this. And welcome back into in-game chat. This is music from a game called Slay the Princess. The track is called Two Miserable Wretches. I need to play more of that game. That's a very interesting game.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think it's Slay the Princess. Maybe I'm thinking of... no, Slay... Yeah. Right?
The one that's a twist on the damsel in distress archetype?
I think so. Is that the one I'm thinking of?
I don't know what you're thinking of.
Black and white?
Kinda.
Yeah. Slay the Princess.
Yeah, let's see. Slay the Princess. That's this console game. Is that the same one?
Pencil art?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
We're on the same one.
Princess,
We're on the same one. We're on the same page. Yep, that's it. I didn't get to the horror part of it, but it was fun the little bit that I played. And once it opened up, once I realized that there was more here than what I was doing.
Slaying princesses?
Yeah, not necessarily.
Yeah, don't let the name fool you.
Yeah. Once it opened up to me and it started to... The narrative really started to unfold with it. I said, okay, I need to honor this game with more...
There's something more under the hood.
Yeah, I need to honor it with more of my time and more of my attention.
Yeah.
I was not giving it what it was needed. And when it flipped it on its head, or at least flipped me on my head, whenever I came back to the game or whatever, I said, no. There's more here, and I really need to sit down with it and actually go through it. Because I thought I was going to go through this, and I thought it was going to be a really short game. I was going to go through it, get one of the endings, and then try something else next time. Okay. And that is not how that plays out.
Okay.
At all.
I like it when games subvert your expectations like that.
It absolutely does. And the narrator in that is fantastic at doing that for you. Reminds me of... Oh, man, what was the other one? Is it Cryptmaster? Is that the one where you're typing?
Zork?
No. Yep, it's Cryptmaster. Has another fantastic narrator in that game as well. But you type out what sort of a turn-based RPG type thing. So when you come up...
Text parsers, kind of?
Sort of, but you're also filling in the blank. You're also spelling words. Oh. You have to know words to spell in order to make things happen. It's try the demo. It's on Steam. I think the demo's on Steam.
I am not good at spelling.
Well, you should try it. You really should try it. It really is a lot of fun. Anyway, jumping back into the game news and everything else.
Yes.
I don't know where we want to go with this. I know Rob in Discord there asked us to go over what free games are available on PS Plus this month. I think it's WWE 2K24.
Okay.
And obviously the wrestling one is the only one that would stick out in my mind. PS Plus October.
PH balanced.
Yeah, 2024. Are you looking that up at the same time as I am, RJ?
Trying to, yeah.
Tell you, this
maybe speaking of the RPG. Yeah, that's.
Let's see. It looks like
that game.
Yeah, what do we have?
Doki Doki Literature Club.
That's it. Deep Space Remake.
Dead Space.
Or Dead Space. Dead Space Remake, Doki Doki Literature Club, and WWE 2K24.
Is Doki Doki Literature Club any relation to Doki Doki Panic?
Other than what Doki Doki means, I guess, in Japanese, I suppose.
I just remember that was the original Mario 2.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if it was like those characters.
I'm not sure.
No, it's not. Yeah, Doki Doki Literature Club is one of those. Don't let the exterior fool you. That game is it's hard, but it doesn't look it.
Oh, really?
Until you get further into it.
Yeah, I have not looked into it. I have not looked into it at all.
Speaking of the remakes, did you play the Dead Space remake?
No, I don't have a PS5, but I've looked at playthroughs of it, and they look like they did a really good job on that.
Sometimes those remakes for me are just weird the way my brain works. It's like, that's how the original looked, and then until you actually look at it, you're like, oh no. But like at the time, it felt like it looked like that. You know, sometimes when I go back to classic games, at the time it felt like it's like my brain interpolated a better looking game than it actually presented itself to be. You know, and maybe just because of the technology we had at the moment, I was like, wow, this is amazing. This looks so lifelike. And you look at it now, it's like just 3, polygons and a mesh over it. Like, ooh.
Speaking of remakes, we're talking about Horizon Zero Dawn last week.
Oh, that was a good. I need to play more of that.
Well, do you have it on PC?
Yes, and also PS5.
Right. The Zero Dawn or the sequel?
So the first one.
The first one. Okay. Good. The reason I say
and
that,
also the God of War, which I was
right.
Yeah.
Oh, have you played both those God of Wars?
I played the first. Well, I'm playing through the first God. I haven't played Ragnarok.
Okay.
Which came out on Steam.
Yeah. Are you playing on Steam or are you playing on PlayStation?
I'm playing on the PlayStation.
Okay.
Actually.
No, you're fine. That's fine.
Yeah. The first God of War.
That was just me asking you which one. It doesn't matter.
Like where in the? I know it's the new God of War, but because there have been like God of War 2, 3, whatever. Chains of Olympus.
This is considered God of War. What 2020 or something like that? Whatever.
Yeah.
But I know what you're talking about.
So like yes, the new God of War. Yeah. I don't want people to think that the original, but like I'm enjoying it.
Don't wait long in between God of War and God of War Ragnarok.
Okay.
I will tell you that now.
They lead right into each other?
They absolutely do.
Okay.
Yeah.
They absolutely go right into each other, and it's fantastic. See, I had replayed the first one before the sequel came out. I put everything on easy, and I just went through it again for a second time. Blew through it compared to the amount of time I put into it to go through it the first time.
Okay, because it's taken me, I'm like, how long is this game?
Well, it all depends on what you want to do. Because
Maybe
for
I'm
me...
just doing way too much, because I am like exploring...
Yeah.
I got to where you could like go to the different worlds and everything by churning the and so for me that's just like this game's it's definitely taken a while.
It is, and for me it did take a while because I was looking for all the secrets. I was looking for all the
crows,
ravens.
the ravens. I
was doing all of that stuff.
Even going back to like, I know like in the map it says that there's a thing over here. Let me try and go back to where I was originally. How did I get to that area? And,
A lot of backtracking.
Yes.
But to expand about that, it's just that the going through it a second time without worrying about all those things, it's a real good breeze to go through.
Okay.
And I don't want you to get burned out, obviously, because going from a game like that into a sequel like that, it's a lot of that to have to go through.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to do that. For me, I had a good many years in between before the sequel, and I breezed through a replay of the first and then played the sequel. But man, they are two games that work great as a whole. The narrative between the first and on into the second, yes, you can play them separate.
Apart,
yeah, you can play them and whatever, wait a while and come back to it. But I believe your experience will be even better playing them closer to each other.
Okay.
To experience that overall story, because it really is, it's really good. There is a whole thing of the father, son, Kratos, and Atreus. I'm getting my missed names now mixed up.
Artax?
Anyway.
No, that's the horse that never.
No, yeah, but anyway,
Atreus.
Yeah, Atreus.
I just call him boy.
Yeah. The father-son dynamic on that, the way Kratos is going through the first game with his son, and then the way he is in the second game with his son are two different things because of what he went through in the first.
Okay.
And so he learned more about himself and his son in the first, and then when he goes to the second, you can see that knowledge being used, but also their relationship and their dynamic growing even more. This is one of the things, and it's one of the most better examples of narrative storytelling. When you're talking about you like a good story,
yes,
that is it. The God of War and the God of War Ragnarok are two really, really good stories that work better as a whole thing. And it's just fantastic how it came across.
So much of that first God of War is generational trauma.
Yeah,
playing
it really
out.
But to go back to Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes.
We talked about last week that they're doing the remaster coming out October 31st.
Okay.
And the Remaster upgrade's only like $10. So
good.
if you own the previous on PC or on PlayStation, it's a $10 upgrade. Not a big deal. No problem. Because oddly enough, before this announcement was made, literally the week before that announcement was made, there was a sale on that game on everything. I think Sony PC games were on sale. And so I grabbed Horizon Zero Dawn for $10 for Steam.
Can't beat that.
Fantastic. So I'm going to be paying, $10 more to have an upgrade to it. And I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm okay with it.
It's still cheaper than I think it is normally.
Yeah, except you can't do that now.
Oh.
Originally, so what we talked about was on the PlayStation Store.
Yes.
Horizon Zero Dawn was $20.
Okay.
After the announcement of the remaster, they bumped it up to $40.
Of course.
Yep. Then, so when we talked about this last week where they bumped the price up, then after that, they delisted the game from Steam, from Epic. I think you can still get it on GOG. But now it's not there. Your only option on Steam and
4?
Epic, is the $50 remaster. Yeah. Anyway, this is the article from IGN of all places. Sony's controversial PlayStation Network requirement for its PC game is once again in the spotlight after they delisted the original Horizon Zero Dawn on Steam and the Epic Game Store and added the PSN requirement to the upcoming single-player remaster. PSN account requirement for its PC games was thrust in the limelight with Helldivers 2. There's another one I haven't played yet.
No.
So, this week fans noticed the original Horizon Zero Dawn, previously available to buy in all countries where Steam is accessible, was delisted from those stores. The Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition Steam page remains live, but the game itself is unavailable for purchase. In its place is the option to pre-purchase the remaster or buy the sequel, Forbidden West. The remastered Steam page signals the PSN account requirement is in this small print of the game's features. Again, the original game did not have this requirement. So now it's got that requirement. I'm
wondering if you download it now, since I have it in my library, if I download it now, when it comes out, will it update it to where it will have that requirement?
If you buy the remaster, the $10 upgrade, possibly. That's something I could test out. Actually, I could install that on my PC and see if it
after the release.
Yeah.
If it updates it to where you need the PSN.
Yeah, I don't actually want to play it until I do the remaster because I did play a little bit of it on PlayStation 4. Yeah.
Let's go with that.
I did play a little bit of it on there, and I got to a point where my save was whatever, and so I do want to go. It's early on. I want to go back through it.
Okay.
And so I will on PC. I also picked up Ghost of Tsushima on PC as well.
Have you played that yet?
Nope. I played a little bit of it on PlayStation 4 again.
So good.
But I plan to play it on PC.
Yes. So good.
I got my PlayStation 5 controller working on my PC.
I have
with that.
So
all those haptic feedback things that they got. It's really cool.
I have a PlayStation 5 controller on my PC. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work with every game.
It doesn't. You're right.
So sometimes I have to plug in my Xbox.
You're right. And in fact, and it may be for Horizon or it may have been for Ghost. I can't remember who it was. It may have been for Ragnarok. I'm not sure. There's a fine print type thing that says if you do play with a PlayStation 5 controller, if you want all the haptic feedback of it, if you want all the bells and whistles that the controller offers, you need to have a wired connection.
Okay.
Which is not a problem. It's a USB-C cable. It's fine. I've got it Bluetooth set up, but I can easily just plug the controller into the PC and be fine. So, but that's what I plan to do. So, I see where Bama Brian says Mavis Bacon the RPG. Beacon. This is a massive sidetrack. There's a documentary called Searching for Mavis Bacon, released this year or maybe even this week.
Wasn't it told a fictional character?
Well, they're looking for the person that inspired that character, because there is a woman who inspired that particular character, person, whatever, for the typing thing.
Sure.
Mavis Beacon teaches typing.
Yeah.
So just as a thing, we all know who that is. There is a documentary about that because they're looking for the lady that inspired that franchise, I guess it was. What else do we have in news here that I was going over?
I did not know that Troy Baker supplies the voice of Indiana Jones in The Great Circle.
Well, you do now, don't you?
I do now.
Yep. He's really good.
He does a good Harrison. He does a good indie voice.
He's good at sounding like Harrison. He's good at sounding like other people and sounding. He's just really good.
He's not just. Indy's such a iconic character, and even I saw in a trailer where you talked about it. But like the way Indy says things, his inflection, his tempo, and his voice. No. He does a great job.
He does, and he also voiced Joker in Arkham Origins.
Arkham Origins, yes.
And honestly, and he's voiced Joker in other things as well, animated and whatnot. And
if you take like some of his voices in that and take Mark Hamill's voice, I wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. He's doing a real good Mark Hamill impersonation when he does Joker, and he's doing a really good Harrison Ford impersonation when he does Indy. So Joel, I don't know where that guy sits in, but he's pretty good at that anyway. And BioShock. Yes,
Booker.
Booker, that's right.
Yeah. I actually loaded up Last of Us 2 on my PS5 because after watching the trailer for Season 2. And so started playing.
Is that Last of Us 2 the PlayStation 5 version or the 4 version?
I think I got the 5 version.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, started going through that, and spoiler for a however old game.
I mean, you might as well because the series sort of follows the game, so it's best not to.
I got to that point.
Okay, gotcha.
Again, and I was like, it's still.
It's still rough, yeah, I know. I would,
ouch.
Yeah, I would hold off on that because the series. So
that watching the trailer for the series and then seeing how like, that's that scene from my. All right, I'm gonna hold off on this and watch the series.
We aren't yet at a break here. Let me keep going off on this news here. We got to look at Death Stranding 2. Some more footage that came out last week.
Kevin loves that game. I tried. Hideo Kojima just.
Have you seen 2?
It looks.
Have you seen the videos that from last week for 2?
Not the ones from last week. I saw the trailer that he first put out, and I'm just like.
I know. Yeah. What's Troy Baker again? By the way.
Yeah, Troy Baker again.
Go find those and go find the ones that they released and watch those as well. By the way, also look at the demo of the photo mode that they do for this thing.
Yeah.
It's just unreal. It's crazy. But
part of me wants to like this game, but the other part of me sees electric guitar dude, and I'm just like, I can suspend my disbelief only so much. I believe in space wizards. I believe in a lot of stupid things, but I have limits. That's why I never got into Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance.
That was, which one was that one? Phantom Pain or no?
No. That was the Sword Slasher.
Really? The one with
Nano Machine, son.
What was his name? Raiden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved that one.
I could not get into it.
I loved that one.
That was it was an action. It was a more action.
Yeah, it was a hack and slash.
It was a hack and slash, controllable slashes with Raiden's sword. Yeah,
I was totally down for that, especially for the fact that it knew where you attacked, physically on the object. It knew where your sword went.
I get it, and parts of me wants to love that, but then the other part of my brain's looking at it going, this is so...
I know. I need to load that back up on PC because I have not played that in a long time.
Do you really?
I do.
Do you really?
Because I didn't finish it, and I'd like to go back through it. Plus, I got a rig that can
do it.
Run the nose off the thing.
Yeah.
So I would really like to do that.
I want to like Kojima's stuff, right? Because I do like some of his stuff, but sometimes he just goes off the rails.
I think he peaked with 4.
So hard. 5 was...
I think he peaked
Parts of 5 were not bad.
I know, but I think he peaked
parts
with 4.
Parts of it were really interesting. Other parts, I can't stand it when game.
Go back and look at 4, and then remember what you're looking at. You're looking at a PS3 game.
Yeah. But also, 4 hours later of cutscenes.
I get it. Actually, that doesn't bother me.
Oh, yeah. It does when I'm trying to all right, can I just pause? I want to pause it. I got to do something.
I'm a big fan of long cutscenes, especially if it actually moves the story along. Yeah. But I'm also a big fan of QTEs, which is basically a playable cutscene. And I'm fine with those, too.
But that just sometimes, sometimes his stuff is just It goes that step beyond ridiculous.
I know. I get it.
And I'm just like, I saw the dude with the guitar and the lightning, and I'm just like, you know what it reminded me of?
Dude,
Silverhawks.
You haven't seen anything yet. Go watch that video.
I'm afraid to now.
You should, because there's a.
I tried to. So
I don't want to spoil what's in there
Death
for
Stranding?
you. No.
I tried to play it.
I have it on a couple of different platforms, but I don't.
The director's cut. I tried to play it because Kevin just rants about how awesome it. Man, it's great, it's great, it's great. And I'm trying to play it, and I'm like, I do not understand what he's trying to tell me because none of this makes any sense whatsoever. I even watched videos explaining Death Stranding and the ending, and I'm like, I'm even more confused now than I was before.
The reason...
Dude's out there. He's on a different wavelength than I am.
The reason I'm urging you to watch this is not because I think it's going to clear things up for you.
Oh, it
will not.
No, nothing he does will clear things up for me.
The reason that I want you to go watch this is because if you thought any of that was odd, you really do not know the oddity of what Kojima is doing, and you really need to go watch this.
Did you ever watch AI, the Spielberg movie?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that in a way, only to the nth degree more. Of just like, in that movie, like, I could not tell you where the plot was going.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how this is. Like, it's nothing. I like sometimes to be surprised. I like it when expectations are subverted. I don't like just randomness for the weird sake of, like...
Which is a lot of what he does.
And
randomness for the sake of randomness.
All he does. And he makes it look so pretty while he's doing it.
Well, first off, these new videos have... They
look gorgeous.
They introduce characters and then the actors that play those characters. Although, when George Miller pops up, it's like, that's George Miller.
Yeah. You can tell, that's Benicio del Toro. Oh, that's Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't it be? All right, you know what? That's just random. But like, oh, there's also a baby in your throat because, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, George Miller pops up on this one for Death Stranding 2. And there's a little... very brief musical number.
Yeah?
Not with George Miller.
Okay, I was going to say.
But with other weird things.
Is it something I would recognize?
Yeah, no, you'll recognize the song they sing, of course.
Okay.
But the people singing it...
Is it just weird?
Oh, it's very weird.
And that's just the thing, like, I like weird.
Because they start singing it to this woman's pregnant belly.
Of course they do. Why wouldn't they?
But you need to know... You need to know the people who are singing. All right, you need to know the people who are singing.
I'll watch.
So far, nobody's seen. I haven't looked in the chat room. No, so far nobody is.
I mean, chat room, back me up or disagree with me.
No.
I don't know. Like,
I'm not.
Am I just weird that like I find this stuff so?
I'm not throwing.
Out there.
I'm not.
I know you're not
disputing this.
Yeah, I'm just like, am I the only one that feels this way? Because like people buy this stuff, they keep buying this stuff, and they keep loving this stuff, and I keep scratching my head on like I do not.
That is kind of the odd thing about it is that not necessarily that people keep buying the stuff, but that all the people who want to be involved in his stuff.
Yes.
I look at that and I'm like, are you just wanting to be involved because these other people are involved? Do you know what this is that you're being involved in, and you just want in on it because it's that? What's the deal?
And I've is this like some auteur cinema level of just?
I do get those vibes.
Yeah, like I get it. I've watched random obscure movies that are very auteur and very artistic, and you're just like, okay, well, this doesn't have in plot, this has in visuals and just whatever, but like some of his things, man, I
feel like I should spoil it because you're not going to go watch it.
Oh no, I will.
Okay.
How long is it? Is it?
It's like 8 or 6 minutes.
Okay, then I'll watch it after this
because it was they did a whole Tokyo Game Show happened last week.
Yeah. Okay.
So Kojima had a presentation for Death Stranding 2. So he talked about mechanics and things like that, but they also showed off a bunch of different footage from the game, and there's YouTube channels out the wazoo that have compiled all of them into one long thing, and it's about 6 or 8 minutes long, and they've also gotten the English versions up so that you can, understand what's being said. Oh, man, some weird stuff. Anyway, we have to take a break. We have music here from a game called The Casting of Frank Stone. That is Supermassive Games? Is that what I'm thinking of? The guys that did Until Dawn.
Supermassive.
Yeah. So this is is it Dead by Daylight or 7 Days to Die, something like that? But it's kind of a story expansion for that, and it's called The Casting of Frank Stone. It's very horror-oriented and done in a very Until Dawn way, which, by the way, that remake is coming out. Or actually, that remake, I think, is out.
Should be.
Yeah. Did you read any about that, by the way, RJ?
I mean, I'm still. Actually, I didn't finish the original because there was a decision I made that messed everything up, and it just irked me so much I had to start over.
Well, they added an ending in this remake to tease a sequel.
Sequel.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
seemingly,
because Until Dawn is not technically it's not part of the Dark Pictures anthology.
It's not,
because there are no sequels. Should be any sequels in that.
Is it the Quarry? Would the Quarry be a part of that universe?
The Quarry
feels like it fits in that universe.
I think the Quarry would be kind of standalone, like Until Dawn. It wouldn't be part of the Dark Pictures anthology.
No, it's definitely not part of Dark Pictures anthology. But anyway,
basically, I'm trying to say no sequels in the Dark Pictures anthology. So Until Dawn and the Quarry should have standalone features to have their own timeline to be open to a sequel, I guess. But yeah,
seemingly that's what they're doing, which they should do, because I also just read where the filming of Until Dawn, the movie, just wrapped filming probably this week. Okay. They just finished up filming. Now there's a lot of whatever that comes after that, editing and effects and all this other stuff they got to go through
and clean up.
But the filming is done. So teasing a sequel in this to have it ready for release, perhaps when the movie gets out, to sort of tie into it, it's a possibility. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Again, music from Casting of Frank Stone. We'll be right back. Welcome back into In-Game Chat. You want to take a guess on this? I don't know if you even played the game yet.
Oh, no. Doesn't sound familiar.
Alan Wake 2.
I didn't play the second one.
Okay.
I hear there was they have licensed music and everything, and there was, I think I remember hearing something about there's a licensed music in that, a song that I know and I enjoy.
Yeah.
But I don't remember which one.
This track is just called Driving Around Washington State. That's the name of the track.
Did you play 2?
No, but I have it. I have it on Epic Games. I just haven't played it yet.
Okay.
But might as well. I think we're at a year now since it released.
Sure.
I think it came out in October of last year.
It has a connection to Control, which I played a little bit of and just never got back into.
That's also something I haven't really jumped into, and I need to, is Control. So anyway, welcome back into the show here. Got about 20 more minutes to go with some news.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Since it is spooky season,
yeah,
right? Have you heard of Layers of Fear?
Yeah, the Bloober team.
Yeah.
The same people that did Silent Hill 2 remake.
Huh, okay. So a while back
the same people that did Blair Witch Project.
Oh, yeah. I had that on VR, and I started that, and then promptly turned it off and, got into the fetal position underneath my covers and,
Same people that did Layers of Fear 2. They did something else, but I think it was kind of a dud, but I can't remember what it was. But go ahead.
Played the original Layers of Fear. Didn't go all the way through it, but I enjoyed that. You're in this weird, crazy house, and it's paintings, and things are spoopy, and it's crazy and scary.
It is, but it's not jump scary.
No, it's one of those atmospheric.
And I loved it.
Which it's not, jump scares okay, it's over. This is the entire time you're under tension.
Yeah.
I felt like the weight of everything.
I was perfectly fine with it. The puzzles and everything else you had to solve, I really enjoyed it.
So did you play the first Layers of Fear?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Great. Console, yeah.
Okay, so then they did Layers of Fear 2. I think I have it.
I don't think I played that, yeah.
So they did a new one, and they just call it Layers of Fear, which
it was I know
stuff
what
like
you're
that
talking
is
about.
confusing. I'm like, all right, so yes, it's the new Layers of Fear, not like the old Layers. Like come up with a different name, come up with a subtitle. I don't know, something.
That's the same thing they did with God of War. Then
Yes, old man yelling at clouds again. But so I loaded up. I got the new Layers of Fear, and I loaded it up and I started playing it. And this time you're in a lighthouse, like an old abandoned lighthouse, and it is exactly 100% back to that atmospheric. I do not want to. There's a phone ringing down the hallway. I don't want to go to it.
Yeah, Medium was the other game I was thinking of. Medium. So.
I don't want to answer this phone because that right now I am safe. Nothing is attacking me. Nothing is happening. The moment I start to move, that's when it happens. Like that. Oh, yeah. They do it so well because, of course, like you do it with the headphones on. Mm-hmm. For these kind of games. And
maybe you mentioned that. I think isn't there VR for Layers of Fear?
Maybe.
No, you know what? I was just on their page and there was.
I know Blair Witch had a VR.
Yeah, I'm gonna look again.
But yeah, if you like atmospheric, spooky, just like suspense, like just like games like that where it's not, it's kind of horror, but more of a, I haven't seen any like monsters or anything, but like
psychological horror.
Yeah, very. It is like you're a writer that's on sabbatical and you got writer's block, and so of course you go to an abandoned lighthouse as any writer would.
Look, any inspiration you can get is good. So yeah, have at it.
Oh my goodness!
Different developer, but yeah, there's a Layers of Fear VR.
But like
publisher is Bluebird, but the developer is different.
Since it is spooky season, that was a game that like it got I need to get back into it, but like I don't want to play it, but I want to play it. If that makes any sense, it is spooky.
Let's see. What else do we have in the news? Yeah, I'm just going through the news here. We found out that Tango Gameworks was already in development for 6 months on Hi-Fi Rush 2 before they got acquired and everything killed, which I kind of hate because Hi-Fi Rush, really good game. Having a sequel for that would have been great.
The VR version of Hitman 3, their team got laid off.
Yeah.
I just saw yesterday.
Yep. The VR team got laid off for that one. I don't know why before, because it's VR for Hitman. Is that out yet, or are they?
It is on the. I know on the PC it's out.
So
and also I think on the PlayStation.
But they keep updating it with new missions and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of sad that's.
I never played the VR version. I love Hitman 3: World of Assassinations.
Yeah.
I got the expansion with Conor McGregor, and the escalation mission or whatever they call it. And I played it. Mm-hmm. I've always liked that World Assassination. That Hitman was great, but yeah, it's a shame that the team got laid off.
Yeah, the Alters got delayed until early next year. I didn't realize it, but it's 11-Bit Studios, the same people that made Frostpunk 2. Again, the Alters had a demo. Great.
Yeah,
I loved the concept of what they were doing with the Alters. It was fantastic in the demo. I don't know if the demo is still available for you, but give it a shot if you can. That was really, really good. But it got a delay for early next year. The Shattered Space expansion for Starfield. Did you pick up Starfield?
I have Starfield.
Yeah. Ain't doing great.
Yeah, it was okay.
It's.
I think I was expecting more. I put a lot of hours into it.
I have not. And now that they've updated a lot of stuff, I may be jumping back in, but not with this DLC because apparently DLC ain't that great.
Yeah.
It's not getting great reviews, and a lot of people are saying that it's just not a lot of content that they're offering, and I hate that because they have done so well with their other two franchises with the Elder Scrolls and the Fallout series.
Yeah. Did you play 76?
No. I'm really only speaking of the mainline games, not necessarily that. Like, I'm not talking about Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm not talking about Fallout 76. Yeah. Although,
that has
76 has gone
started and where it's at now, two different games.
Yeah.
I tried Fallout 76, and it's not the Fallout I like.
So for Starfield, what do they add? Like new weapons, new outfits, new missions, new
they added a new
locations?
story. It's an expansion. It's DLC that they added. So with that new story, they've added some, a brand new planet, a brand new faction of people,
new location, new things like that.
All kinds of new stuff. But there's a lot of other stuff that is just free into the game that they've added. Vehicles, better inventory management. They've revamped a lot of stuff that was not in there originally that a lot of people had problems with. And that helped it, but then the release of this DLC kind of brought it back down because people were like, this is not enough. This is not good for whatever you're asking for, the price you're asking for.
Not enough bang for the buck?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
like I said, I played a good bit of Starfield, and I would say it was okay.
I enjoyed the little bit of it that I played, yes. But it
grabbed me enough for me to put several hours, like 100 hours into it. But I didn't finish the main story, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's a $30 addition to Starfield that adds new planetary location and roughly 10-hour story campaign that revolves around. Talks about that. It arrives alongside another patch for the base game, as well as other recent improvements and additions, including a dune buggy that's free for the game, so that helps traversal. Because every time you landed on a planet, you had to walk.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Planets are big, and you had to walk.
No fast travel?
You could get in your ship and then go to different landing points.
Yeah.
But
too much work to unlock the fast travel for that area.
But you're still walking. Yeah, there is no fast travel. It's not like I could... No. You got to go get in your ship, get into space, then you can fast travel to a different part of the planet, if you want to.
The space
not the different part of the planet, but different planets.
Yeah.
If you're on a planet, you can get into your ship and then fast travel to different points on that planet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still within walking distance of where you need to be. You may have a landing zone that is next to your objective, but when you get there, that objective is not right there where you land. It's,
Get to the closest spot you can, fast traveling before getting to the spot.
Because sometimes you have to stealth your way into whatever it is that you're going to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that aspect to it as well. But having the dune buggy would be great for a lot of what... God, I walked so much when I was originally playing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not doing a lot. Some players keep pointing to Phantom Liberty, which was the Cyberpunk 2077 DLC.
I need to play that.
And longtime Bethesda fans are also comparing Shattered Space to Fallout 4's Far Harbor DLC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another expansion that offered sprawling new areas to explore and some peak storytelling moments. And so, yeah, let's see. This guy says, I've been playing Shattered Space all week and have a lot of thoughts, but I'll hold them till my review. Too long didn't read of it is, it's complicated. And you can go on the Starfield subreddit and find...
That sounds about like Starfield. It's
plenty of fans who enjoyed the base game and are having a terrific time with the DLC. And there's good and bad things about Shattered Space worth highlighting. It's clear the polarized reactions are in part a response to poor expectation setting and hopes around the expansion not just adding to the game, but also feeling fundamentally different from the familiar Bethesda RPG formula that cracked and strained under the weight of Starfield's ambition.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, what do you remember about Far Harbor?
That was 4, right?
Yeah.
Was that the one that was in a bayou?
Near the fishing town.
Oh, fishing town?
Yeah.
That tells you how much I remember about it.
Okay. The only thing I remember about Far Harbor was the basically the giant shrimp, mutated
yes.
shrimp.
Yes.
No matter how many times I fast traveled to a settlement I made there, this giant shrimp would always come up out the water and attack. No matter how many times I killed it,
shrimp.
Taken it out millions of times.
Yep.
And this thing kept respawning every time I fast traveled to it. That must be.
Yeah.
I was thinking to the point, it must be one of those Bethesda glitches they ain't patch out yet.
I think that's just how it was.
I mean, heck, I was getting a lot of material and stuff from him, sure, but it got
But
annoying
it's
after
annoying.
a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking over. Go ahead.
That's the thing with. I think one of the constant complaints about the Bethesda games is they need a new engine.
Mm-hmm.
They've needed a new engine for a long time. They all look the same.
Yeah.
Especially like interiors, like when you go into a cavern, it's the same.
Yeah.
If you take any Bethesda game inside a cave, I couldn't tell you which game it is. Maybe if I look at the weaponry, I might, that's medieval, so that's obviously Skyrim, or that's sort of like steampunky. So that's obviously Fallout, but it's just
Yeah. Well, how much does that new engine cost?
Yeah, I know.
Business is going to business. So
just use Unreal 5, Unreal Engine 5. But like I tried. Did you try Fallout 76?
No, I couldn't get into it. I have a buddy of mine who plays Fallout 76. From what I gathered, he's having a good time with it. But
it's not what I wanted in a Fallout game.
I couldn't get into it.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm all right. Before they included NPCs in the game, it was just so barrenly sparse because they expected everyone just to be a player that you run into. So you didn't really have the NPCs. Now there are NPCs, and they're just all right. The ghouls have guns, and I'm just running through, just like playing, going all right, I guess. And the next thing you know, someone sets off launches a nuke at me, and I'm like,
yeah, it's about.
I'm done.
Yeah, I had enough griefing from GTA Online.
Yes, and Red Dead.
Now I'm gonna get griefed in Fallout.
Yeah,
joy, joy. So I just left it alone after that point.
I'm just reading over a review of Silent Hill 2 because I know the remake.
Okay.
Because again, Bloober Team, Layers of Fear.
Yes.
Ultimately, those who are familiar with the original Silent Hill 2 will constantly be surprised by this remake, and those who aren't as familiar are geared up for a great, albeit heart-wrenching time.
So
all of the pivotal moments remain, but veterans will find that they're in different orders or brand new rooms now.
That's fine.
There's new dialogue to look out for, and plenty of new notes, memos, and Easter eggs to discover, especially in New Game Plus. These changes may seem odd at first to existing fans, but all in all, they allow the story to flow much more smoothly or add to it altogether. Think of the remake as a continuation or a new rendition of the never-ending looping purgatory that many theorize James is trapped in.
Sure.
Bloober Team, you made me happy. And after playing Silent Hill 2, I am eager to see what the studio does alongside Konami in the future. Perhaps a Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 3 remake aren't such a bad idea after all.
Yeah, 3 would be great. I love the music. Well, like I said, I go back to, for those kind of remakes, Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4, right? They were amazing.
Yeah.
They, enough of what I remembered, kind of like that feel, but with, it's not just, we upscaled Resident Evil 2.
Did you think
it's a whole new Resident Evil 2.
Did you think 3 was short, though?
Well, yeah, because 3 is short.
You're okay with that? That short, nothing to extend anything, anything like that?
That's how 3 was. That's the story of 3. That's how it was.
Okay.
If they were charging $70 for 3, then I would be upset.
But they didn't. No, they didn't. They didn't.
I played through 3. I beat it, and got all the whatever. And I had a good time. I thought, it reminded me enough of the original 3, but looking in that new engine and looking great and just playing great and feeling great. I liked it. Heck, even the original Resident Evil remake on the GameCube, right?
Yeah.
Like when they remade that for the GameCube, that was great. I wish they would redo that one again. Right?
Yeah, I never got a chance to play that. It was a GameCube exclusive, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Redo that one again, and I would be happy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're going to remake 5. Or if they even should.
Too soon? Because we started to talk about Horizon being too soon for a remake.
Not even just too soon. Years. Just you remember 5, right?
Yeah.
It's not
5
good.
I loved in co-op.
Yeah.
5 is the only way.
That's 5 I had fun with.
Yeah.
Punching boulders.
5 I was good with. It was, and then I tried to play 6 and it was horrible.
I tried 6.
6 is the bad one.
Yes.
Yeah.
6 is the bad one.
And then they redeemed themselves with 7 and 8.
And 8.
So, aren't they doing a trilogy of that? Isn't it 7, 8, and 9?
Yes. Yeah. That's the in theory, that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
So I'm all for that. I don't know if they're going to remake 5 and 6. I don't even know if they should.
Yeah, 5.
5 can be remade. It's fine to me. 6, fix it.
That's my thing. I feel like
they can fix 6, yes, then okay.
Fix
but
it,
how do you
yeah.
fix that?
The controls were bad.
Listen to the
controls.
No, listen to the people who played the game and got feedback for you. Listen to them.
Just the story just went off the rails, and just the everything.
I mean, that's the other thing. If you're remaking it, you may have to make some adjustments to some very central things about the game to fix it.
Yes.
Story being one of those.
5 and 6.
Again, 5.
Really?
I get it, but co-op was fun, man. I played it through the whole thing co-op with James, and it was great. I enjoyed that, and it's the only time I actually really enjoyed that. So it was really fun to do. I think it was couch co-op too. I don't think it was split screen couch co-op.
Yeah.
So, but I really enjoyed it. I think we're getting close to the end of the show here. So,
any words on Sam Fisher watch?
No, there's nothing. I mean, you did see the little teaser for the Netflix series.
Yes.
But that is not included in my list because it's got to be a game. And, of course, they are working on a Splinter Cell remaster, reboot, remake.
The original game.
Yes. But we've seen nothing of it.
Nope.
We heard that they were doing it, and we've heard nothing since.
We heard the goggles turn on. That was about it.
And I don't necessarily know that we're going to get anything out of them anyway. But we have to go. Thank you again, Matt, for joining
my pleasure, man. My pleasure.
RJ, have a safe trip home.
Hopefully
go
they can,
the other way.
Check us out streaming.
I'll try some other route. I'll find something.
Yeah. And everybody watching, everybody listening, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Every time you join us for this show, I want you to have a great week. Enjoy the week. We'll be back and do this again next week with more spoopy music coming up. I know this music that we got here is from a game called Still Wakes the Deep, which was recently released.
All right.
It's you on an oil tank, on an oil rig out in the ocean.
So like Deep Fear?
Kinda. It's just you, and you're hearing noises, and you're hearing things, and you're searching to figure out what's going on. So, yeah.
It's a great backdrop for a survival horror, though. Oil rig, because you're out in the middle of, really.
No cell reception?
Yeah.
That's it. That's where you're at. Yeah. So, have a great one. We will see you guys next Saturday. Matt, I don't know when we'll see you again, but...
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll see me streaming.
All right. Yeah, we'll be doing streaming tomorrow, and Matt is going to stream some on Monday, maybe both of us.
Yeah.
We'll see. Have a good one. We'll see you next Saturday.